is going on, everyone? Welcome to the J&J Power Hour. We got a lot to get to in this episode. We're going to be talking AEW Full Gear. We got some questions, and we're going to answer them as best we can. We just had a big, long pre-chat, and I just tried to sell you on the show Veep, and I think I have a winner, finally. I think someone's going to take the bait.
I am going to. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Everyone go watch Veep. Trust me. If you like me, go and watch Veep. It's got Julia. Oh my God, easy for fucking me. There we go. Louis Dreyfus in it.
Julia Louise Dreyfus.
And it's got Tony Hale. It's got Anna Klumsky. It's got Reed Scott. It's got all these people in it that are very, very good. And I never get his name right, so I just call him House because he's the dude from House, like Dr. House.
I'm not gonna remember his name.
He is in later in the show, and he is fantastic in it. And there's a lot of guest stars in that show. It's a very good show. So everyone go watch Veep. That's my pitch for the day. Before we talk wrestling, I was going to say something, and now I've lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I don't know. How's things with you?
Things are good. Busy start to the week a little bit, but no, things are good. I'm feeling good. I'm excited to talk. I'm excited to answer some questions later. I feel like this is the first time I've done a Q&A of sorts. I'm taking
your Q&A virginity.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. I like getting asked questions about, random things and talking about it. So I'm looking forward to it. And also, I'm looking forward to Full Gear on Saturday night.
We're not recording on our normal time. Well, it's Sunday morning. I won't be able to watch it till Sunday afternoon because I have work. Because everyone loves Saturday night's pay-per-views, but I don't because I work retail. So therefore, I work every Sunday. So I'm never going to be able to watch these motherfucking things live anymore.
It's terrible. It's not good.
But we're not recording on our normal day. Usually we record before Raw, but I had some things to do this week. So we're recording before NXT, which means that this episode will have a shelf life because unlike Raw, I like to watch NXT. So we got a lot to get to in this next hour and a bit before NXT starts. Speaking of Raw and speaking of the WWE, before we get to Full Gear, I think we should probably address the releases that happened last week. I think this is now the fourth lot of releases since 2020, if I'm correct.
Almost 200 talents have been released since last year.
And a countless number of office staff and all the other BS that's going on and changes in power and titles and all this. But last week, some really surprising names in there. 18 wrestlers were released last week. Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Eva Marie, Nia Jax, B-Fab. The list goes on and on and on. I'm not going to sit here and list all of them. Everyone knows who got released. There's two sides to this for me. Number one is, I hate when people lose their jobs because it's an income. I don't give a fuck what you think about a company. I just want people to make money. I want people to be able to perform, do what they love to do, wherever that be. I'm at the point with wrestling where I don't necessarily give two fucks about a company. I care about talent. And there's certain talent that I seek out to watch, no matter the 3-letter, usually, initial at the bottom of the screen. Couldn't give two fucks, to be completely honest with you. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, cool. A lot of these talent will go and shine in other places because WWE is very constricted on what you can and can't do if you're not at a certain level. If you're at a certain level, I feel like you're given more freedom to just run with the ball and they kind of trust you. But when you're at that other level, you are constricted as all hell. So I'm excited for the talent to go and do what they feel, they can do best. Perfect example of that is probably a Frankie Monet, Taya Valkyrie. I said what I need to say.
Yeah. 9 matches. They signed her.
I thought it was 6.
Was that 6? Yeah, you might even be right.
6 fucking matches since April when she fucking debuted. Isn't that a fucking bullshit? I ranted about this on Twitch last week. I'm not going to rant again, but why? Why hire her? Why hire her? Just don't hire her.
And that's someone you want someone that can be a star for you on screen, but also be a star for you behind the scenes, teaching young talent.
But she's
perform.
old. She's old. Quote
well,
unquote.
That whole thing, that's a whole
38 years old.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is how I look at that. So Lillian Garcia taught me this. If Frankie Monet, if Taya Valkyrie was to, God forbid, die tomorrow, you wouldn't be talking about how old she is. You'd be talking about how young she is. So
correct.
That's how I determine whether someone is old or young, is when, if they would die, how would you look at it? 38 years old, she's a baby. What the fuck? And there's a whole nother thing with the whole woman thing of being like, you've passed your shelf life if you're 38. It's like, that's some bull shit.
Yeah, look at, like, as wrestling fans, like, there was that, you know, it was squashed rather quickly, which I love to see. But there was that, like, it automatically always happens. Same thing with Mercedes Martinez when she was released.
Mickey James.
38, 39. Mickey James. They're all like, oh, well, you know, they're up there. They're older. Guys, as wrestling fans, we were pining for 43 or whatever he is. He just had a birthday. I forget his age. CM Punk to come back. Pining for him to come back.
Everyone loves Edge. And Edge is like 48.
40s. Yeah, almost 50. Like, these are guys that we love. But when a female wrestler who's 38, who's younger than these people, she gets released, and some of the rhetoric and some of the hearsay is like, well, you know, she's getting up there. I don't know how much she has to offer left. She's older. It's like, AJ Styles is 50. He's almost 50 years old. Jericho is 50.
Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, all of these people, who I could give two. Age has never bothered me in wrestling. I couldn't give a fuck how old you are. It's the ability in the ring. I don't hate Goldberg because he's old. Goldberg is in phenomenal shape. If I look like that right now, I would be like, holy fuck. Like, he is in phenomenal shape. The reason I don't like him is because of other reasons. I couldn't give a fuck that he's 54 or whatever. Who gives two shits? Could not give a fuck. Sting is nearly 70. Yeah,
Sting's almost 60. Yeah,
or 60. Is it 60? Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
60 or something like that.
But regardless, it doesn't matter. He can still go, so I don't care how old he is. Frankie Monet, the age thing, what a dumb narrative too. But I'm not putting that past them. That's why they released her. I'm just saying, like, that's a dumb narrative to have. She's a very talented woman. But anyway, off of her, we won't spend too long on this, but I just want to ask you, out of every single name that was listed in the releases, which one surprised you the most?
I have two. B-Fab.
She was number 2 for me.
Yes, she is number 2 for me as well.
Yeah.
B-Fab, because she's part of the hottest, in my opinion.
She's young. She's part of Hit Row.
Part of Hit Row. You just drafted Hit Row to the main roster a month ago. Like,
coachable. It's just so.
Yes, she has the best part. She has the hook in the theme song that they've already taken out.
Did they take it out? I didn't watch SmackDown last week.
They took it out. Yeah, last week on SmackDown. That wasn't part of the song. And it's like, dude, like, the song's good in general, but like, that's the part that everybody. Come on, man.
Man. She was like, I was like, what? What? Like, there has to be something more to that. It's honestly, are they going like this? They just go.
Yes.
This one.
I completely, and yes.
And like, the only woman in the group, it's like, there's a lot of women were released last week. A lot of women and a lot of minorities. And this can't be a coincidence at this stage. I'm not. It's really hard for me to believe that WWE don't have some kind of race, sex thing in them. That's just like, we're going to release you. The last time that there was releases, Mercedes Martinez and Jake Atlas, the only 2 openly out people on your NXT roster, you're going to, I nearly said evict, release. It's like Big Brother. It is like fucking Big Brother though, isn't it? It's like, you're evicted this week, double eviction this week, triple eviction this week. It's like Big Brother. But there's just certain things, and there was a lot of women, a lot of minorities released in this group. But B-Fab was definitely on, and Nia was the other one for me. I know there was a lot of things about Vax. Well, she's related to the fucking Rock.
It's true.
The way that they position Nia Jax, like, I know a lot of people have their opinions on Nia Jax. I know, I get it, I understand it. I necessarily didn't hate Nia Jax. I understand that she was dangerous in some aspects, but regardless of all that really shocked me. I was like, Nia Jax, but I know the vaccination thing come in, and It doesn't look great on them, by the way, when she was and said about like mental health and stuff like that. Mental health, yes. Doesn't look good on WWE's part. It looks really bad, regardless of what you think about Nia Jax. Like, you're requesting time off to take care of your brain, and then 2 days later you get released. That looks really fucking bad. I don't know if that was their intention. I don't know if they did that on purpose because, you know, it might be just unconnected, but also it could very well be connected because that company can be petty when they want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was shocked about Nia. And then the obvious one, I don't want to, you know, how do you fuck up Keith Lee?
That didn't surprise me, though.
It didn't surprise me, but like just
I was honestly kind of waiting for it.
Just in general, like when I look at the whole thing, I'm just like, how do you mess that guy up?
Yeah.
Like you have this charismatic 5-tool, he's good at everything guy, and you spent a year and a half on the main roster basically taking the Keith Lee out of Keith Lee and making him this generic whatever. And then he came out and said that when the whole Bearcat thing started, the rumor or what people said online was that, oh, well, Keith Lee,
his idea.
He wanted to do it. This was his idea.
He was like,
and then he came out and was like, that wasn't my dumbass idea.
And
that
like,
wasn't my dumbass idea.
Cross is in the same level as him of like, how do you fuck up? Karrion Kross.
Yeah, Cross as well. That was another one. And Scarlett as well. The whole package of them. Like,
when they're in NXT, everybody and their fucking dog was saying, get them out of NXT. They are not NXT talent. They are main roster talent. And then A, you're bringing him up without Scarlett. B, you have him lose to, no offense to Jeff Hardy, who I love dearly, but you have him lose to Jeff Hardy in a minute and a half on his first match of Raw after being undefeated for 16 months in NXT. And then you have him work with like, I think he worked with Keith Lee the next week, maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know. Jeff Hardy again.
Like a demolition, Jason
a mask, and like just you took away his best asset, which is Scarlett. And then you just have her sitting doing nothing when, listen, wrestling isn't about looks and stuff like that. However, WWE can put that girl on a poster and sell a lot of tickets if they wanted to. I don't understand how
100%.
Scarlett is a beautiful woman, a very attractive woman. I don't understand why you wouldn't at least even capitalize on just her looks alone. I know that's awful to say, but like, what the fuck? What are you doing? There's something here and there, just chemistry, obviously, they have on screen is just dumb. And then I guess the other one that we'll touch on is Eva, who, by the way, I know a lot of people don't like Eva Marie, and what that's not for debate of what your opinion is of her, but baller move. She just went on about her day on Twitter, said, I'm filming a movie. I'm not going to address this. I'm making my money. I'm like, I want that kind of confidence. I just lost my job, but I'm obviously filming a movie and I have a lot of other things going. You can't hate the entrepreneurship side of her because she just, imagine being that like, whatever. I'm just going to film my movie with Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Whatever. She's like,
you can't hate it
anyway.
I know that. I know she wasn't. She's never going to be. She was never there. She was a woman who decided to wrestle. She wasn't a wrestler that decided to do movies. She was just a person that was just. Hey, you can't hate on someone wanting to make some money. I can't hate that. If you are hating on it, you're jealous. You're jealous that woman has made more money than you do. She has her own brand. She has her own businesses. She's in movies. She's
doing good for herself.
Like, people are like, oh, she's got to go wrestle somewhere else. I'm like, no, she's fucking not. Eva Marie is not going to.
She'll be very comfortable never wrestling again.
Do you think it was? Do you think it was vaccination status for her? With her, her beliefs, I guess you could say. She's been very open.
Probably along those lines, yes.
Do you think that it's okay to release people because of vaccination status? I do, because I think that WWE, whether it's a lot of arenas won't let people in without vaccination, a lot of international travel, you can't do a lot of media without being vaccinated, so you can't do your job. Your job is not just wrestling.
Yeah, if you're correct, if you're running a business, and if we look at it just strictly from a business, if you not being, and I look at it the same way that I look at like American football. There was a big story this past week in American football where a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers for the Green Bay Packers, had to miss a very important game, which his team lost because he got COVID. And he lied in the offseason and said that he he didn't use the term vaccinated, but he said he was immunized,
Mm-hmm.
which everyone thought that meant blah, blah, blah. And then it turns out that he wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah, so the same thing is happening
shit.
here. Like our Australian football has brought in a mandatory, you must be vaccinated to play football, because they travel around the country just like how they would in America, and they play football. And AFL is what we call our football. It's different, but it's AFL. But the AFLW is the women's league, and a very highly rated Adelaide Crows player. She's also a nurse. Is very anti-vaccination, and they said that, and it came out in the last couple of days at the time of recording that, well, you're on the inactive list. You are no longer allowed to play next season because you will not get vaccinated. She's the only major football star that have come out and said, I'm not going to have the vaccine. She's the only one so far. The season doesn't start until February, March. So you still got a few more months, but they have a window of where they have to be had both vaccine doses, or they have a date set where they are getting both vaccination doses. So I think the deadline is the end of the year. So they've only got a month and a half to really get their shit sorted. But she's the first one. So like the same side of WWE things, Nia Jax has been open about the fact that she's not vaccinated, and that's her choice. I'm not discrediting her for that. But however, exactly, they pick and choose what they want to do. So therefore,
you know who one of the biggest anti-vaxxers on the roster is? Sasha Banks.
Well, she is vaccinated. Is she though? Because she went on the international tour. She had to be vaccinated to go to UK. Okay, she had to be.
She's been very anti-vax.
I know,
very. And so I assume, but they're not releasing Sasha fucking Banks.
But from my understanding, is that if you went international travel, you have to be vaccinated to go into the UK. You have to be. So she would have had to get vaccinated. Maybe she did it purely for her job.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like, if I'm running a business and I know that person X, Y, and Z can affect my business by them not being vaccinated, then it might not be like, what they're doing with your Australian football player down there is, hey, we're not going to release you. Like, we want to keep you on the team, but guess what? Like, you're inactive. You're not playing.
She's literally she was one of the the women's league is not as it's only come in the last few years as opposed to the AFL men's side of things. But the Adelaide Crows, she plays for the Adelaide Crows, and from my understanding, she was a pretty prominent player in the team. So she's only young. I think she's only like 23, 24. So she's a young star.
You might lose her for a year, and then hopefully
she's a nurse too, which is even like.
Yeah. Well, again, this is a thing, and I'm assuming it's happening over there too. Over here, there are a lot of people in the healthcare that are adamant about.
Oh, well, we just had a whole trial about a lady in Perth, which is over in Western Australia. She was a nurse administering fake COVID vaccines. She was simply just.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
She was just injecting nothing or injecting water, just nothing of the vaccine, and people were. They became suspicious when members of the public were specifically requesting this nurse to administer the vaccine. So she went to court over in the last couple of days. So don't worry when people just think like, oh, it's not just trust me, it's not just America and it's everywhere in the world. And it's a whole thing. But regardless of anything, regardless of vaccination status or anything like that, or what your beliefs are in that, I still don't like seeing people lose their jobs, regardless of how I feel personally about any of these talent, anything like that. The overall landscape of this is that releases are going to happen every few months, and instead of getting angry about it every time, I just automatically go, okay, but now we can let them shine in other aspects, because this is going to be a thing that happens for. It's just going to be the norm. And they're going to keep hiring and going like this. It's going to be a cycle.
And again, and I don't know if this is me being optimistic or anything, but I do feel like now in the wrestling landscape, outside of just WWE and AEW, there are more places to work.
Exactly.
Where you can get noticed than ever.
Make your money.
Mean? So exactly. So I think as shitty as this is, because we care about these talents, it's not necessarily such a huge negative thing because now the wrestling landscape is going to just be better. Like if you would have told me a year ago that I'd be ordering the GCW pay-per-views almost every month because Matt Cardona or Chelsea Green or the Briscoe brothers or all these people would be in this little, like a small promotion like that. Moxley is their champion. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff.
Look
like
at
that
Effie.
Never.
Look at Effie.
Effie's amazing. Effie's amazing.
Everyone knows
Allie
Effie.
Catch is amazing. Like they're all amazing. Like these people, this platform for them at this level wasn't even there 4 or 5 years ago.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's the last few years.
And then you have Impact, you have MLW, New Japan. We got all these places where these people can go and you'll still be able to. And like you said, if you don't have to watch the whole company to focus on the individual talents that you like.
No.
If you're a big fan of the inspiration, obviously, right? I don't think you watch Impact the whole show every week, but you go out of your way to make sure you at least see what they're doing, right? It's that same thing.
I support the talent wherever they are. It doesn't really give two shits. Like the Saudi show, right? I didn't watch all the Saudi show, but I made sure I watched the girls because everyone knows that I love them. And they killed it, by the way. Fucking killed it. That triple threat was really good. Watch Zelina and Doudrop. And I watched like the Hell in a Cell because I love Edge and I love Seth Rollins.
Was really
probably the best modern Hell in a Cell I've ever seen.
That was really
spot
good.
where Edge did Seth did
yes.
Yeah.
Into the cage through the table?
No, I was talking
like that.
That spot was dope, but the sunset flip powerbomb off the ladder through the table also was good. But yeah, the Seth Rollins, I don't care. A lot of people are like, ugh, you only watch WWE if you think Seth Rollins is the best ever. But I'm like, no.
He's one of the best workers in the world. Period.
He's one of the best, and he's a great character, and his stuff on Raw has been really good. I watched Raw this week.
He's gonna stand out.
For fucking some reason. I watched Raw, but I watched it. It was good.
I will tell you, 2 weeks in a row, Raw's been.
And that ladder match a few weeks ago was really good. I watched most of last week's episode as well. That was also really good. Like, there's a lot of freshness happening.
I like to see Chad Gable wrestling every week. That's a good thing.
And they're
had a great match with Balor and Big E.
Yeah, they're building
keep
some
doing
different
that a little
things. Like just
fresh matchups, not rematches all over the place.
There was something about seeing Lashley and Dominic Mysterio. I'm like, I've never seen that. That's a good thing.
Seen that before.
I've never seen Chad Gable and Big A. Doudrop.
It looks like Doudrop is going to feud with Bianca Belair.
Can you imagine that moment when Bianca picks up Doudrop for the kiss of death?
Oh, yeah, she's gonna. And I think she might even, she's so strong, she might even be able to press her.
That would be a sight to see. And Doudrop is so, I don't know why you would turn Doudrop heel.
I don't either.
There's a lot of questionable things that I'm like.
If they're turning her here though, she should be like, you know what? I'm Piper now.
Yeah, honestly. And Shotzi, why would you turn Shotzi Blackheart heel? I don't know either. But again, both thrive. Like they
Sasha,
she fucked her up.
Good.
So
it's good.
I'm happy. I'm happy for that kind of stuff. That there is a lot to love. I know that WWE is overall pretty, but there is some things to love, and I'll always support the women no matter what they're fucking doing. So I'm always going to be keeping a tab on at least that in WWE. So I'm happy for that in that aspect. But there's some other things I want to touch on, but it actually leads into our Q&A that we're going to do a little later in the show. First, we're going to do like a little brief chat on Full Gear. If you want to hear Full Gear thoughts in whole from JPJ, check out the Weekend Elite Report this weekend, because him and Matt will go through Full Gear a little more than we will today. But we'll spend the next 10 minutes or so just running through some stuff that we're excited about. I think the first thing that we need to talk about is that fucking promo on Rampage between Eddie Kingston and CM Punk. Eddie even said it was an Easter egg to the Punk Cena kind of stuff that happened in like 2011.
2011,
which is it. Obviously, it was very similar to that in that aspect, with Punk now in the Cena role and Kingston in the CM Punk role, which is fine by me, but. It's incredible what happens when two people who just know how to speak. This wasn't a wrestling promo. This was just a conversation, a very intense conversation between two very, very intelligent speakers. And it's like apples and oranges of like who you like more as terms of who you think is a better speaker, because they're different and they're both very good. It's like if you were to coach people on how to speak, they would be the two that I'd just be like, here you go, just listen to how these two speak and learn, because they're real and I believe what they're saying, and like it's so, I don't know. Eddie Kingston and CM Punk on paper, I was just kind of like, yeah, sure, like, you know, that'll be fine. I'm like,
it's gonna be good.
Like I couldn't even like, I would just listen to them talk for 20 minutes to be completely honest with you.
I hope that's what we see on. I hope we get more of that. I want to see them
Dynamite.
Like,
this is being recorded before Dynamite, by the way.
Yes,
and Rampage, obviously. Yes. So we don't know what we're getting on Dynamite and Rampage from these two, but you'll get something. Man, oh man, just really good. But it's weird. I didn't expect CM Punk to be wrestling Eddie Kingston on his second pay-per-view back. Third? Second.
Pay-per-view is second.
Darby. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sometimes I get a bit confused because they have like their special shows. So I'm like, wait a minute, was that like?
I think Eddie Kingston should beat him.
I don't think it will happen.
Eddie Kingston, but I don't think it will either. But I think Eddie Kingston is a good person to hand CM Punk his first loss.
Yeah, if this was happening like 6 months' time, sure. But it's happening right now.
I think it's a little too soon.
Yeah.
I think it's a little too soon. And the feud literally just like, it's only been a week build. Like, and I don't mean week as in WEA. I mean like a week in time.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It only started a week ago on like a week from Rampage when Kingston interrupted him in the back.
That would be between the Rampage to Full Gear will be like it's a 2-week build to a pay-per-view match.
But that promo on Friday, it sold everyone a ticket.
You don't need
That's what it was there for. At the end, when he was just like,
it was really good. It was honestly really good.
And Punk was just like, F you, man. And he just headbutted him and they had that brawl. But he's like, nobody wanted you here. Everyone's afraid to say it to you, but nobody wanted you here. And he's like, you should have stayed retired. And it was like, oh my God.
It was
unbelievable.
Genuinely, really, really, really just really good.
Yeah. And I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
We were chatting about it off the air. But we're recording on a Tuesday. Earlier today, Eddie Kingston released a Players Tribune like piece that he wrote himself. Everyone should search for that and everyone should read it. Yeah, everyone. I just wanted to say
I have to read it. I've seen little things about it, but I need to. I'll read that after we record today. But I said this to you in the pre-chat. I'm pretty sure. I could be lying, but I think I said this. Eddie Kingston is very real and he's a very raw person. He's just Eddie Kingston is the perfect example of just being you and turning you up to 11, and that's your wrestling character, and it just works. No, it doesn't work for everybody, but it works for him, and he's very good at that. But Punk and Kingston will be ridiculously good. I want to talk to you about American Top Team and the Inner Circle. There's some opinions on that. People leaning left and right with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean this with all due respect to Chris Jericho. But Jericho at one stage was my all-time favorite in wrestling. I love Jericho. I don't love Jericho in AEW. I don't know why. I never have.
Okay.
Never been my guy in AEW. I don't like AEW Jericho. What I hate more though is Jericho's jokes. They're as dated as him.
Oh yeah,
they're not. Stop making homophobic jokes. Stop making sexist. This is what pissed me off the most. Okay, the gay joke and everything like that. Everyone laughs. I know. Homosexuality, it's so fucking funny. Obviously, that grinds my gears a lot, but that's a topic for a different day that I don't feel like getting into right now. However, the joke this past week, or last week on Dynamite, with Paige Van Zant was, okay, so you have all of these dudes here, right? You have all of these dudes. You have, they called him the other guy, the one that I find attractive, that fucking Dalton, what's his name? Dalton something.
Oh, yeah, Dalton. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's very attractive. He's very attractive. I find him I'm like, hello there. Although he's very.
No Daniel Garcia, though.
We'll talk about that off air. But he's kind of a bit of a shitty, not a great person. I see on his Instagram. Okay, I'm like, nice to look at. But anyway, you had all of these people here, and then Jericho she starts talking. By the way, I think Paige Van Zandt should have been in the match because that would have been kind of cool to see Paige in there. But like you have all of these dudes here and the one sex worker OnlyFans joke. I know she's on OnlyFans and she made a lot of money and I'm not fucking knocking that. No, I couldn't give two.
Good for her.
I hate when people are like, oh, imagine selling your naked photos of yourself to gain money. If I looked good enough, I would fucking do that. I was just
gonna say, if I was built for that, I would. What?
I would do it in a heartbeat.
People have gotten rich off
this. This is what I don't understand. It's like, okay, we're wearing clothes right now, but underneath, we all know what is underneath what we got going on. We all know that right now you're looking at me and JPJ, and guess what? I don't mean to be, oh my God, but we both have penises. Did you know that? Like it's a part of. I don't know why people have this weird stigma around sex and nakedness and stuff like that. Like I don't love being naked. However, if I look like Paige Van Zandt or I look like that other dude that I find attractive, I don't think I'd ever wear clothes. I'd be like, look at all of my bits because they look good. That's what I would be doing. So like the only sex joke, sex worker joke, sex thing joke, whatever you want to call it, shouldn't be a joke. And you're doing it to the only woman that's standing there. Like, Jericho, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, just shut the fuck up. I just wish Jericho would not open his mouth. And that's, like, saying a lot of things. I wish he wouldn't tweet some things as well. But, like, Jericho just needs to shut the fuck up. And I mean that with all due respect, because I respect what Jericho's done in the business. One of the best of all time. There's nothing taking him away from that. But shut up. Stop making dated horrible jokes. They're lame, they're corny, and they don't work. And like it keeps happening. Like the gay joke and then the sexist joke and all of this thing coming from a 50-year-old man who we know, by the way, he's been very public about the fact of who he supports and his whole belief system. Is like, can you not make those jokes, buddy? Please stop.
And it feels like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Like those are like bottom feeder. Like Jericho is, we all know he's one of the best to ever do this. Like he can do better than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like we all know he can.
Yeah.
We know how good he is at the craft of cutting a promo, wrestling, all the stuff. Like you don't have to, you're Chris Jericho, for crying out loud. You don't have to resort to that type of shit. Like you can do, we know how creative you are. Like, yeah, it's just cheap, quick, and like
cheap pop. It's dumb.
Yeah, you're like a cheap pop from the fucking half the crowd that's like, haha, it's like,
gay people, haha, it's so funny. Oh, I don't fuck my
get
friend.
It, she's a girl, yeah.
Oh, she has a vagina. She fucking went on OnlyFans. And guess what?
Yeah.
For fucking 90% of those males in the crowd would fucking be doing the thing to her photo. So make your money, Paige. I couldn't give a fuck.
If she was like, hey, let's go out for the night,
they'd be like,
any one of those people, they'd be like, oh, hell yeah.
Please take me. Yeah. Like, shut up. The match will be fine. I have no doubt that the match will be a lot of fun. It's going to be fun. It'll be chaotic because of what a Minneapolis street fight or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of...
Yeah.
And Dan Lambert's in it, so like they're not going to be having a wrestling... it's going to be fine. It'll be entertaining. They'll beat the crap out of each other with weapons and blah, blah, blah.
I have no problem with it.
I need this thing to end.
Yes.
And I need the inner circle to end.
Yes. And maybe Jericho can just step away for a little while. I'm not saying go away forever.
I think he's going to be going on tour with Fozzy.
Aren't they already on tour?
Are they already on tour? Maybe he just doesn't book Wednesdays. So he can fly in every week, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm hoping just maybe he takes a break. Because I would like to see Santana and Ortiz just go in the tag team division and kind of do some stuff. I want to see Sammy defend that title on his own every week. Like, Sammy should be defending that title at this pay-per-view on Saturday, not muffled in the middle of this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want it to come to an end.
A star.
And I like Dan Lambert.
He's a star.
I like Dan Lambert, and I like what he does. I think
he's doing his job.
It toes the line perfectly of don't go there, but you're also not going there without stepping too far over. And I like Ethan Page. I like Scorpio Sky. I don't even hate that the MMA people are there. I kind of like that. It's just this element between them and the inner circle. I'm like, so who am I meant to cheer for here? I don't understand what I'm meant to be doing as a fan. I want it to be over and stuff like that. Got another 6-man tag in there with like Jungle Boy, We've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
It'll
a Falls
be a
can
good match,
anywhere.
but
It'll be
there's still-
fine.
yeah.
Obviously we have Ty Conti and Britt Baker. It seems like I
Good.
don't mean this as a disrespect to Ty Conti, who I like, but it just seems like a filler match for Britt.
Well, that's what
get her to the next
stop.
stop.
I was gonna say good for Ty Conti. She deserves it. She's been, especially during the pandemic early on, she was like kind of a standout. She would, and from where she's come, like when you remember her on NXT to what you see now, it's like a completely
she's
different
always
person.
doing that.
You know what I mean?
She's always like,
yeah. But I think you're right. I think this is like,
filler.
hey, go out there, have a really good match, but Britt's, let's get to Britt's next long-term thing.
So what should be Thunder Rosa. We got the TBS Championship going, tournament going, which is cool. That's not on the pay-per-view, but I just want to throw out the TBS champion is going to be Jade Cargill, right?
Yes.
And it's going to be her and Ruby in the finals, right?
Yes.
And it will be like, Ruby, let's make Jade look like $1 million fucking bucks, right?
Yes. And Ruby will
knock
it out of the park.
That bitch show.
Correct.
She is that bitch, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean that in a very endearing way.
She's clearly green in the ring.
Oh, yeah, but...
Clearly. But I like...
Put her in there with people like Ruby and stuff like that, and she's fucking fine.
Let her learn. Yeah, just let her learn. They'll put her in good spots. They'll make her look
and she's
like
going to fall on her face.
She's
going to fall on her face. We have to realize that she is green. Those chair shots, man. She needs to learn to swing a chair. She needs to learn to swing it properly. Yeah. But she's going to fall on her face, and that's fine. But that woman is so athletic, and I like the pairing. I like them together.
Oh, Smart Mark?
Yeah, Smart Mark is great.
Yes.
Yeah. Jade's getting better at promos, and that's probably learning from him. He's a fantastic speaker. But she is just physically... I don't understand how you look like that, and you're a mother. I'm like...
She's had like 3 kids or something. Like, she's had multiple kids.
She's ridiculous.
Insane.
It's like she's made out of fucking clay. Like, her brother is too. Like, have you seen pictures of her brother?
No, I didn't even know.
Oh my god, and he is like made out of like fucking... They're like Greek gods. I'm not kidding.
Basically. Yeah, I think, and I feel like a lot of people feel that way as the majority, but I feel like it's a shoo-in that she wins.
I don't know if it's a shoo-in, but just the way the tournament set.
Who would it be? Would it be Ruby beside her? Like Ruby
maybe
Rosa,
Ruby.
Right? Those are the only...
It's interesting though, because of these releases, I know a lot of these women will probably go to Impact. But I mean, just playing fantasy, putting on my fantasy cap. How cool would it be to see Taya Valkyrie in AEW? Or how cool would it be to see Scarlett, Ember Moon, Athena,
Ember Moon.
Oh my god, she has to go to AEW, right?
Yes, 100%.
She I know Taya will probably go back to Impact. I can see her going back to Impact, and but
I think Keith Lee and Ember Moon should be automatics for AEW.
So that means Mia Yim.
Automatics.
Mia Yim could
and
also...
Mia Yim. Yeah, Mia Yim could do it too. Yeah. But for me, when I saw that list, I was like, Ember Moon, Keith Lee, AEW, 100%.
Carrion?
100%. That's where they should go.
Or Killer?
Carrion, I think, should go to New Japan.
With Scarlett?
I think so. An American big guy. The Japanese have... There's been routinely, like Lesnar went over there for a little bit. Scott Norton in the 8. You get a bigger American guy, especially with the presentation if she's with him, because you would assume maybe he'd go back to Impact. But I thought there was a bad falling out when he left Impact. I thought they did not end on good terms.
Yeah,
I remember vaguely.
I don't know.
So if that's the case, and they were like, "Hey, F you, buddy, we don't want you back."
I mean, but him in AEW would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, he could easily go. But AEW can't sign them all. You know what I mean?
No, I know. And like, there is the impending thing of like, what is these Ring of Honor talent doing? Are we going to see Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis in AEW?
I would like them to bring the whole kingdom in.
Well, me too, but I mean, like
Bennett and Maria Kanellis.
How cool would that be? Because we know what they could do in a big setting, but they could also go back to Impact, because Maria said on many occasions, she said, I never wanted to leave Impact. WWE reached out and they were offering us a lot more money, and it was time to go back. And obviously we know how that kind of panned out, but they would be fun. Wrestling is, again, releases suck, but it makes wrestling fucking thrive.
Yeah. And there's still a big one out there.
Yeah.
We don't know what he's going to do yet. And
Mr.
Wyndham.
Yeah. The former Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. Wyndham.
He's filming a movie.
Today that he's filming a movie. I don't know if that means that he's not
off the market.
He's not off the market a little bit for wrestling right now, but like that's a big chip. That's a big domino to fall there. He's the biggest one out there.
Here's the biggest question for AEW at the moment. If you're Tony Khan, right, and you're looking at the field, and you got a phone call from a certain release talent, maybe a relative of The Rock, who we spoke about before, Nia Jax, do you think there's any possibility that someone like Nia Jax could step into the AEW world?
Yeah.
Do you think that would go down well?
With the fans like AEW fans? No, I think they give a shit. But she would have a chance to win them over.
Do you think do you think the WWE system failed her, or do you think she failed the WWE system? Or do you think that she was the perfect kind of candidate for what WWE want, and they fucked it up?
Yeah,
or was it a mixture of all of it?
I think it's a mixture of all of it. It was like, hey, this is a bigger woman who we can use as a monster.
But did they utilize her as a monster? Because I don't think they did.
No, because they made her look like they did typical stuff where
they fat shamed her and they did all these stupid
they made
bullshit.
Her look like an idiot. They had the whole thing with Alexa Bliss, the fat shaming stuff where she was crying. And I get it. I get what they were trying to do, but it didn't work.
I wanted her to be just like the stereotype monster. Destroy. I don't want to see Nia. I never wanted to see Nia Jax had 15-minute matches. I wanted 5 minutes, throw them around,
she should have
Samoan
been
drop.
Strowman.
Yeah.
She should have been early Braun Strowman. That's what she should have been.
But do you think there's ever a chance that we see her inside the AEW ring?
I mean, I think you have.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe not. Where does she go? Impact? I mean, maybe she just stops right. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I could see her going back to WWE at some point too.
Me too, to be honest. I don't. We've seen people get released and then come back. It's not out of the ordinary. It's not out of the ordinary.
I don't know. AEW seems like a stretch when it comes to her, but they don't really have. I mean, that's a lie. They have Nyla Rose. I would consider Jade Cargill to be.
Oh my god, her and Nyla Rose should be a team, and they could be called. They could be called Nyla Jax. It's dumb.
But what if Nyla Rose is beating somebody up that's little, right? And then all of a sudden Nia Jax were to show up and be like, mess with somebody your own size. Yeah, whatever her name would be, Again,
it's interesting. We're playing fantasy booking here, guys. We understand a lot of this might not happen, but it's just interesting to AEW have signed a lot of the only massive female come over has been Ruby Soho. They've done a lot with the dudes. Like, let's get a couple more big name women to come in. And Ember's got to be. She has to be. Does she have? I wonder if she has the 90-day or the 30-day, because she might have been on main roster contract.
I think so. So Oney Lorcan, who was on 205 Live, I know he did a few. Did he do a few matches on the main roster during pandemic? Maybe? I don't know, but I know he was at least on 205 Live. He in his video that he released, he said he had a 90-day.
So he might have been on a main roster deal
because of 205 Live, right? Because he's probably traveling.
So Ember, unless Ember had signed a new deal that was an NXT deal, which I don't think you would come down from a main roster deal and then re-sign with an NXT
Finn Balor, another example is Finn Balor. When he went back down to NXT, he was still on his main roster deal. They didn't go, here's a less money on it. So I'm assuming the same thing happened with Ember.
Yeah, be interesting.
Considering she was out injured for so long, came back. They're not going to take money away from her, I don't think.
Well,
they might have tried.
Who fucking knows? But anyway, regardless, she has to be one that comes over. But a couple more things on Full Gear. Well, actually, let's not touch on too much more just for time, but let's just talk about Kenny and Hangman Adam Page. Listen, I know sometimes it's okay to do the non-predictable thing, but predictability isn't bad ever. Well, not ever. For the most part, it doesn't always mean bad. I just want to see the buckshot lariat. I want to see the 1, 2, 3, and I want to see Hangman Adam Page with the title. And it's time. I know Bully Ray says other things, but shut the fuck up.
One thing that I want to see is I want to see Hangman kick out of the One Winged Angel.
Oh, me too. And that place is going to go like...
Yes. Nobody's done that yet. And I want Omega to hit it, and everyone's going to be like, fuck, damn it. And Hangman's the guy that kicks out, and it's like, oh, yeah. And then everyone knows, like, it's happening. He's winning. And then, yeah. I agree with you. AEW has earned the benefit of the doubt with me that if they all of a sudden made a decision where they were like, hey, we're stretching this out more, I feel like they've earned the benefit that they would make it work for me. But at the same time, we've been waiting for this. Is a 3-year story. Like they've been building this story literally since the introductory press conference.
Yeah, so it's time. It's time.
It's time. Hangman's the guy. The crowd has proven that Hangman is the guy. Give him the belt and let him have his title. Let him have his title journey. And let us be behind it. Doesn't have to be long, whatever. Like, he can win it back multiple times, but he's the guy that needs to be Kenny, and it needs to happen on Saturday.
Yep.
At Full Gear. That's just my opinion on it.
1000% just what you just said. It just needs to happen, and I think we're going to get it. I really do.
I do too. It's going to be a great moment. I'm going to be legitimately happy. Like, legitimately happy when it happens. And I think a lot of people, that place is going to come unglued.
Yeah. Also, I just want to quickly mention that Bryan Danielson is wrestling Miro, and they're going to kill each other. And it's going to be fucking great.
Yep, and it's going to be amazing. Here's my thing.
There's other matches I know.
Thought, yes, I thought Moxley was going to win the whole tournament. Moxley was my pick to win the whole tournament. Obviously, he doing a very brave thing, doing what he's doing, should take all the time he needs. But Miro gets inserted in, goes to the finals. Do we assume that Danielson wins now?
Well, no. If Hangman Adam Page wins, you would think that Miro would be a great first opponent for Hangman Adam Page, right?
But what if Hangman wins and then his first opponent is Bryan Danielson and he beats Bryan Danielson clean?
But either way, I'm not mad at either of them.
You can't go wrong either way.
They're going to kill each other, though, and it's going to be so... They're just going to hit each other so hard.
I cannot wait.
I'm so excited for it. Full Gear should be a good show, though. And again, I know there's other matches, but we got some questions to get to, so we're going to do that. Full Gear will be a fun show, and if you want to hear full rundown and all that kind of stuff, go listen to the Weekend Elite reports, because you'll run it all down with Matt. So,
we will. And we will be in-depthly running it down.
Yeah. So you can find that on Love Wrestling.
We can. It'll be Saturday. At least Saturday Eastern Standard Time around 4:30.
It'll be by the time you guys wake up in Australia on Sunday. It'll be up and done.
It'll be leading you right into Full Gear. That's going to be the plan.
So go watch it.
Yes, listen. We do have some questions. We had a handful of people send us a bunch of questions, so I want to thank all of them. All right, we just talked about wrestling for a bit, so let's answer some non-wrestling questions, and then we'll kind of dive back in. All right, first question. Best season of the year?
We're talking about weather, right? Just so I'm...
Weather season, yes.
You call it fall, but autumn.
Yeah, that is mine as well.
It's the best.
We are currently in
I'm in spring at the moment.
Autumn.
And we're just about in summer, and it's spring in this part of Australia is so windy, and it's just windy every fucking day, and I can't stand it being windy. Autumn is like the perfect, like, at nighttime you need a hoodie, but like during the day you can wear a t-shirt.
Fire. Yeah.
It's the best. Autumn is just the best time of year. Like, if I was picking out of like cold or hot, I'd rather be cold because I hate being hot, but autumn is just like, you go outside and it's sunny and it's like, oh, I could take my jumper off today because I don't need that right now. But then you get into bed at night, you can still put the covers on. You don't need a fan on. Like, it's just a good time. I miss autumn.
I agree.
Spring is just, I'm sweating. It's windy. It's humid. I just don't like it.
All right. Current Netflix binge favorites.
Oh, well, I was talking about Veep. That's not on Netflix, but I mean, like, there's so many different streaming services, so I'm just taking this as streaming as a whole. But I actually recently watched You on Netflix. It's very good.
Season, or you just started?
I watched all of it.
So you watched season 3, right?
Yeah, we won't spoil anything because I'm not into spoilers when it's that new. But it's really good. I don't. It gets a little confusing. I get a little lost in it sometimes because you're like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Because he's like narrating and all that. Have you watched You? Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
No, I haven't.
It's not like I wouldn't like fucking jerk off over it and be like, "Here, go and watch this." But like, it's okay. I just recently watched that.
Say good things.
What else have I watched on Netflix lately? I haven't really binged that much stuff lately, to be honest.
I watched the Great British Bake Off.
Oh my God, I've watched that before. It's very good.
I love the Great British Bake Off. I love it. It's so good. My boy Giuseppe's going to win this year. That's right. If you watch it,
I haven't watched the newer ones.
He's taking the whole damn thing.
That is a very fun show. A lot of people talk about that show.
It's so good.
Go on.
Go ahead. No, you go.
So we recently in Australia just got access to Paramount Plus. So I've been able to go and watch all the Nickelodeon shows again. I've just recently I've recently just binged the Amanda Show. If anyone remembers Amanda Bynes, and it was like, we had all that, and then she had her own show, which was the Amanda Show. It's dumb as fuck. Like it's stuff that I watched as a kid, and I can still recite it as a 25-year-old, nearly 26-year-old man. I can sit there and go, oh my God, I remember like this. I remember like watching this as a kid. So I've recently binge watched the Amanda Show. I don't know if that was who asked this question, by the way.
This is Mags.
Fucking Mags.
I'm still in. Mags sent a bunch, so I'm still in.
Fucking Mags. Mags will watch this. Mags will watch this, and Mags will listen to this. Oh, he listens at 2 times speed, by the way, because that man is insane. So he's like, blah, 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 blah. But here's a message directly from me to Mags. Okay, you ready for this one, Mags? Fuck you. Mags is a little bitch. I'll get a tweet about that. I'm gonna get a tweet about that. Me and Mags just have this rapport. I don't know what it is, but it's just I see him and I just want to bleh. I just want to bleh everywhere, all over the table, all over my computer. That's what I think of Mags. But Mags, I don't know. He's gonna rail on me for saying the fucking Amanda Show. But yeah, I'm watching the Amanda Show. He's too old. He was born when there was dinosaurs, so he won't even know what Amanda Bynes. He doesn't know who that is because he was like 68 when she was relevant. So he won't know what the Amanda Show is.
If we're going non-Netflix streaming, I just caught up and binged season 3 of What We Do in the Shadows.
What the fuck is that?
It's on Hulu. It's on the channel FX, but it's on Hulu. It is a hilarious comedy about vampires.
Oh,
I would recommend it. It's very funny.
Okay.
Give yourself like the first couple episodes in season 1 because it's a very odd show at first, but it's hysterical. What We Do in the Shadows. I would recommend that, and Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of that.
Binged on Apple TV. Excellent.
Actually, I just watched Morning Wars season 1 on Apple TV with Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've heard really good things.
It's pretty good. I don't love it. It's hard for me to watch anything with Jennifer Aniston in it and not think Rachel. So it's hard. And I don't love Reese Witherspoon. I'm sorry, Legally Blonde fans, but she just isn't my thing. But it's hard. But it's okay. It's one of those shows that you're just like, this is okay. I don't mind this. And Veep, like I said at the start, I just recently binged Veep. That was what streaming service in Australia was that on? Binge. We have a streaming service called Binge.
There you go.
And that's what I watched it on. So any Australians, get Binge, because you also get WWE on there now, because the network looks like it's moving to Binge.
All right.
Which is just
favorite condiment.
Oh God. I'm not really a big just gonna fuck around. I'm gonna get heat for this. When I get McNuggets, right, from McDonald's.
You eat them dry? Do you eat McNuggets dry?
Mm-hmm. I don't have any sauce.
I've done it.
I don't like what you would call ketchup. We call tomato sauce. If I had to pick a condiment, I would get like a sweet chili, like dip or something.
Sweet chili sauce.
I'd get sweet chili. Yeah. So but I'm not a condiment
I'm a honey mustard guy. I like honey mustard.
Yeah.
But I also, I'm kind of old fashioned. Like and I know it's kind of a sacrilege to some people in America. They're like, you put ketchup on a hot dog? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, I put ketchup on a hot dog. You know why? Because it's fucking delicious.
If I was getting a hot dog, I would just have cheese or something like that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna.
I would say most people around here in America, especially in New England, because we take our hot dogs serious, mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mustard.
I
love mustard. I love mustard. I don't dislike mustard, but ketchup, I'm a ketchup honey mustard guy. That's how I roll.
Yeah, if I was going to pick one, I would say sweet chili.
All right, that's a good one though. What upcoming video game are you most hyped 4.
Obviously, what I'm about to play fucking tonight, my time, is the Gran Turismo fucking remaster. Bitch, I'm
Wait, you already have it?
It's coming out, well, it's midnight to my time tonight.
Oh, yeah, I have to wait another day.
Because midnight hits
you
not until like,
you're in the future.
So tonight at 11:30 Adelaide time, because it hits midnight Eastern time, so I get it at 11:30 my time, I can play the remaster. I'm fucking playing. I'm going to play San Andreas first, just because. I feel
are you? I thought you were going chronological order.
I'm not. Well, I've never played Grand Theft Auto 3.
You've never played 3, right? That's why I figured you'd start with it.
So I'm going to do that last, because I feel like I'll be able to beat Vice City and San Andreas a little quicker. And then it's why it's still fresh, and I'm like, keep going. Like, I'll get into 3 at the end, and I'm not going to stream these. I want to just play these on my own.
Yeah, just enjoy.
Also, like, the music in there would be an issue to stream, and I don't want to have to play with no music, and that's just a Twitch issue. Twitch, what the fuck? Just let us fucking play music. Honestly, I'm not here just. Like, there's nothing better to me than to be able to stream and play music in the background. I'm not trying to make money off of there. I'm just streaming to stream. Like, I don't get what. There should be better laws for that kind of stuff. I know it's copyright and stuff like that, but there should be more. There should be friendlier copyright laws to say, like, okay, you know what I mean? As long as you're not selling their music, you're not, like, sitting here going, okay, I know it's hard to monitor, but, like, here is the Taylor Swift brand new album. Pay $5 subscription and I'll play it. Like, that's not what it's just background music, and it's just music in a game. Like, I hate when you get fucking DMCA'd for music in a game that you're streaming. It's so stupid. Anyway, that's a rant. That's not that a lot of people on Twitch have. But yeah, the Grand Theft Auto remaster is what I didn't think I was going to be as excited as I am, but I'm generally like,
I'm excited for that one. Another one for me is I really don't like racing games. I'm not a big racing games guy. However, for the PS5 next year, they're releasing a new Gran Turismo. And those Gran Turismo games were always super good, the way you could, like, customize and buy the cars and things like that. I'm really excited for that, and I'm excited for the Harry Potter RPG whenever we get that for PS5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You know what? Another one I'm excited for? The complete saga of the Lego Star Wars game that's coming out.
Oh, yes.
That'll be fun. I love Lego Star Wars. Holy shit.
I like all the Lego games. I played the Harry Potter ones, too. I like all those Lego games.
I've never played the Harry Potter ones, I don't think. I've never really watched a lot of Harry Potter movies, though. So, I know.
It's okay. It's okay. No, it's okay.
I think I played Lego.
I'm a sucker for those Harry Potter movies.
I can't remember, but Lego Star Wars. When does that come out? It comes out at the end of the year, doesn't it?
I thought so.
Like, literally December 31st. I thought it was coming out.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think it's on a Friday, December 31st. So.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Well, we got some good ones here. All right. This one is from our buddy Zach Smarkmouth on the Twitter. Give him a follow. Zach is the man.
He is.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes. Very much so. Do you have any ghost stories? I don't think I've ever actually encountered a ghost, but I have encountered. I felt there's been situations where I'm like, there's something over me. I believe in, like, the energy of it, and I'm like, that's very much like, when you're just like a quiet space and you're like, there's someone here with me, and I just feel that sense of, like, someone is with me. I've never been afraid of ghosts. Like, I'm not afraid of ghosts. Like, I feel always very, like, when I think about stories, I don't feel like ghosts. I feel very calm, and, like, it's just more of a presence of a ghost. I don't necessarily, I'm not afraid of ghosts, but they're real. I don't give no one can convince me otherwise. Ghosts are real. Whenever someone tells me a ghost story, I believe them 100%. I'm like, that happened. There's no question.
I had a friend in kindergarten that his basement was haunted. And we used to think that he was lying, but, like, no, you would go down there and he'd be like, no, watch. And, like, things would, like, fall off shelves and also, like, it was creepy. How do you take your coffee?
Very hot. But I usually have it.
Oh, you're a hot. Okay.
Oh, I like hot coffee. Like, I want to drink that and I go, like, it can't be that warm bullshit.
Like, even in the summer, even when it's warm?
Well, usually in the summertime, I'm more of an iced coffee guy, but that's just a homosexual stereotype that I will lean into 100%. I have an iced coffee.
I drink iced coffee year round.
And, like,
depths of winter over here.
So, like, when I want a hot coffee, I want a hot coffee and, like, I don't know what because you guys put different stuff in coffee to what we do, or we call things different. Because you would have cream, right? Like some form of like
half and half cream. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, we don't have that here, but like so. Okay, you're obviously a coffee guy. Obviously, do you ever plan on traveling to Australia at any point in your life?
I would like to at some point.
You need to go to Melbourne.
I know people there now, though.
Melbourne, right, is the coffee capital of the world. They have the best coffee in the world in Melbourne. They have all these little nooks and crannies where you can go down. Like Melbourne is full of like these random little lanes. You go down and there's cafes and there's just it's just cafe after cafe. Okay, it's expensive, but it's very good. But coffee in Melbourne is like I've never tasted coffee anywhere like it ever. It's just so genuinely so fantastic. But yeah, we have different coffee here. But yeah, like to answer the question, I either want like an iced coffee when it's really hot because I'm a coffee drinker. Like I'll have lots of coffee throughout my day. Like I get up first thing.
You have more than just one cup.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the number because it's
when you say lots, are you talking not double? You like 4?
Yeah. Okay. 4. Sure. 4. Okay. The first thing thing I do when I wake up is I have to have my coffee.
Okay.
I'll have a coffee. I'll have a shower. Do all that. Then I'll have my breakfast and have another coffee.
Gotcha.
And then I need like a pick me up around 1.
And the afternoon. Yeah, that's fair.
And then I
usually
use
have 2 coffees a day.
I usually on average I'd have 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day. But I don't have my coffee all that strong. I won't like if I just have an instant coffee, right? Like just out of like,
that's like an average. Yeah.
I would have like a teaspoon of that. Like I wouldn't be going like 2-3 teaspoons of that. Like it's not like it's really strong. But if I'm buying a coffee at a store, or even if I'm going to like McDonald's, like I'm getting a double shot of coffee. I'm making my money's worth out of this fucking $5 cup of coffee, $6 cup of coffee. Yeah. So I guess it depends. But if I'm just making it at home, or even out of my coffee machine, I'm not having it all that strong. But I don't know about you. Do you like strong coffee? It's weird.
I do. My go-to is a cold brew.
Ooh.
Cold brew.
I like a cold brew, yeah. Coffee. I like a cold brew.
So I usually go either a medium or a large cold brew iced coffee with some oat or almond milk and 2 sugars. Nice and easy.
I just go regular milk.
When I treat myself, like if I go to like a Starbucks or I prefer to go to like mom and pop shops like around town and stuff.
Me too.
But if I go to a Starbucks or something like that, I will get the fancy shit.
Yeah, if I go to like a
cream cold brew, or I'll get the fancy shit.
If I go to like a Gloria Jeans, which is what we have here, it's like a Starbucks. If I go to Adelaide and I'll go to a Gloria Jeans, I'm getting like, Americano, or I'm getting like a cold brew or something like that at like one of them. But if I'm going just like a regular like cafes that they have here, which is by the way genuinely better, I think for the most part is better than those chain coffee places. No offense. But like I'll be like, oh, they know my order, like they know how I like it made. I like that kind of vibe. So I'll just be like, here's my money. Like you know what you're making me, and like, I like that kind of stuff, and I like my coffee like really frothy with like, I love coffee. I'm gonna as soon as we are done here, I'm gonna have a coffee, and I'm just gonna be like,
I'm gonna actually make some homemade cold brew, so I have it for the rest of the week.
I might have an iced coffee today. I don't even make it myself. I don't know. I have my coffee machine, and so I could go and do that. But sometimes I'm just lazy, and I'm just like, there's a McDonald's like literally like it takes me about 2 minutes to walk there. If I wanted to walk there, so I could just literally order it on the app of the McDonald's and then just
walk
there. Or if I'm feeling really fucking lazy, get in my car and go through the drive-through. Like, it's not far from me, so like it's dangerous because like sometimes late at night when I'm like, I could eat, but I don't feel like eating that much.
Also, like if you've had a night out and you have a little booze in you, you're like, oh, chicken nuggets, double cheeseburger.
The thing I do, the first thing I do is like take me through the drive-through on the way home from.
Exactly.
It's just like the best thing, and you get so much. Like you get.
Of course, yeah, because you're half drunk.
Sit in your bed and you wake up and
eat it all, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, what the fuck happened?
And you're like got wrappers everywhere and shit. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
You wake up the next day and you just got a brick in your stomach.
And you're like, what the fuck? And you just like, disgusting. But you know,
hilarious.
Coffee's great.
Best variation of the power bomb.
Ooh. I mean, the last ride is pretty good. Is that a power bomb? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one didn't come to mind for me, but yeah, no, I would consider. Yeah, because he has them up and then he.
It's a power bomb.
I would consider that a power bomb.
Or a jackknife. I like Kevin Nash jackknife.
Jackknife is one of my two. The good old Kevin Nash.
Is a Razor's Edge a power bomb?
No, I would not call that.
It's not a power
bomb, but I don't think it's a power bomb.
Okay, well, jackknife.
You go all the way down with them, I think.
Jackknife last ride is real good. When he used to really lay it in,
like put them up, like when he used to like really put them up.
Yeah. That's good.
I think the Batista bomb is really good. Here's my thing though. I like the Kevin Owens pop-up power bomb. Big fan.
Yeah,
Big fan of the Kevin Owens pop-up power bomb.
Not I like a spiral bomb, like DDP spiral bomb.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good one.
That was a good one. And again, I don't know if this counts as a power bomb, but I'm a big fan of the Sami Zayn Blue Thunder bomb. I feel like he ends it in a power bomb.
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like he ends it in a power bomb, but he does all that spinning stuff, so it might not count. But I would think the two that stick out to me are Kevin Owens pop up, the one that he used to win matches with, not the one where he goes down with them, but the one that he
sit out power bomb though is pretty good.
If you do it good, the sit out power bombs. He still does it when he does.
Natty does them.
Sit out now.
Natty does them quite well.
Yes. And then the jackknife. The Diesel Kevin Nash jackknife power bomb. Just let him go. Just let him drop. He would just literally just.
Yeah,
he would just bring them up and just see you later. And they would just, he's 7 feet tall. They go, okay. Right
you got no choice.
Boom. Yeah.
Good stuff though.
All right.
We're gonna have to have a rapid fire some of these, but that's fine.
That's fine. Another good one from Zach. Could you kill your clone?
Oh.
I'm saying hot no for me. Hot no for me.
It depends, okay? Because as everyone knows on Twitter, I can be quite the horny little guy when I want to be. Depends how horny I am for myself. Because if I'm coming at myself and I'm just in the zone, there's no stopping me. Because if anyone knows me, what I love most is me. So therefore, I'd be going at me. So I'd have to try and kill that off. But if I'm in the zone, it's just happening. So I don't know if I could kill myself. Oh, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yes. I would say that my clone would probably kill me. Now.
Depends, yeah.
I'm just assuming that my clone looks just like me, but he doesn't have 36-year-old knees. Or a 36-year-old broken down 20-year retail veteran body. Not broken.
Here's the thing. It depends what version of your clone.
I got some age on me.
It depends what version of your clone we're talking about here, because is it a clone of me right now, or is it a clone of me 10 years ago? Is it a clone of me 5 years ago? Because
does your clone take? Is a clone just
your spirit,
like you, or does it take? Does it take every Because right now I have an injured knee, right? Does my clone not have that injured knee?
It all depends.
Is he me? Yeah.
In general, I would say no. I don't think I could
so he's
kill
gonna whip my ass. He's gonna kill me. That's it. I got one. I got one leg.
Yeah. Well,
I'm done.
There's your answer, Zach.
Damn it. All right. Last one from Zach, and then we'll move on to some Astrid questions. She had some good ones too. Which Nicolas Cage character would be the best wrestler?
Oh God. Okay, this is really embarrassing. I don't think I've ever watched a Nicolas Cage movie.
That's really not even Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't know why the fuck I picked that one. That's a good one though. I like it. Have you seen Con Air? The Rock.
I can't tell you a single Nicolas Cage movie I think I've watched.
Leaving Las Vegas.
You're saying words and I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, it's okay. All right.
Sorry.
We'll go to Astrid. No, it's all right. These ones are all right. So favorite feud or rivalry of this year so far in wrestling? Any company. This is just any company.
Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. That was this year, right?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Fuck, that seems like a lifetime ago. But they did very well. I've liked Dakota and Raquel, actually, too.
Yep, that was a good one, too. You know?
Alexa and Eva.
We just talked about it, but Hangman and Kenny.
I mean,
Hangman and Kenny is a good one.
Very good.
I would also say
Alexa, shut up. My Alexa's going off.
That happens.
Shut up.
That happens to me all the time. I think that one, or I do think what you said, Dakota and Raquel was really good.
That's been good too.
Earlier this year,
maybe a little.
Continued it a little bit too. Yeah, so it's still going.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite female or male, or one of each. Favorite female and male wrestler this year.
Let's go the dudes first. Oh no. Are people going to get mad at me for this? I genuinely think my favorite wrestler this year has been Seth Rollins.
He's up there for me.
For the girls, I don't think there's anyone I've been hotter in the whole year for than Liv. Liv Morgan is my girl right now. And I am very, very happy of what happened on Raw yesterday. Because I think it's very... You know how much I've wanted Liv in this spot.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, I've just wanted Liv, and to see her get the win and to see that face off and to see people be genuinely like, let's do something different. Let's not have no disrespect to Becky Lynch, who is phenomenal. But it's been the said story of the WWE in the last 5 years that you have the same women on top all the time. And I think it's not for someone, hey, if she fails, she fails. But like, I just want to see something different. So I say Liv Morgan for me. I don't think there's anyone I like more than Liv right now.
All right. I would say my female wrestler of the year for me is Britt Baker.
Yeah, Britt's also very good.
And then male?
Ruby also I'd probably put in there.
Ruby great. Great. There's a lot of them. Deonna Purrazzo, awesome.
I mean,
the male wrestler of the year for me, oh man. I know he disappeared from WrestleMania until he debuted at All Out, but like Bryan Danielson currently is on an insane run of matches. Of matches. So he's up there for me. But other than that, I mean, it's very hard to not pick Roman Reigns as well. Roman Reigns is
I changed my answer from Seth. Seth is great. He's probably my WWE favorite male wrestler, but I'm going to say Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy's great.
Yeah, I really like Jungle Boy. Really like Jungle Boy. He's good. What a great head of hair, too. What a great head of hair. Yeah.
Now, he's Jungle Boy right now. He's what, 23, 24 years
Something
old
like
now.
That, yeah.
When he's 28, 29, and he's a different character, he's Jack Perry, or he's whatever character, and he's really like, he is the pillar. He's one of the pillars. They say that all the time. Like, that guy's going to be money for a long time.
Jungle Man.
All right. What female and male wrestlers do you think will have a breakout 2022? Any company?
I think 2022 will be the year of Anna Jay.
I like it.
I like Anna Jay. And I think that, I mean, I know it's very easy to say when I think like 2022, Jade Cargill. It's hard not to say Jade, but Anna Jay, she's like here on the surface, and it's like she's like, is anyone home? Ding dong, like, is anyone there? I just feel like I think she could be a big star. She's very good in the ring too. Very good in the ring. Good speaker too.
My breakout female star for 2022 is the one that you just had as your favorite, and that's Liv. I think Liv's gonna get it. I mean, maybe not. She's gonna lose this time, I think. But I think Liv is gonna.
I really hope.
I know it would be so good if she had like just an upset victory and was the champ.
Not even just. I just want like a clean. Not that they're gonna do that with Becky Lynch because WWE have to protect everyone. They can't take losses. Like, it's just dumb. Like, someone has to lose in wrestling. Get over it. Like, Becky Lynch is a made fucking star. Doesn't matter what happens to her at this point. She's Becky Lynch. She could, like, it doesn't matter. Imagine that win for Liv Morgan would just be huge. It'd be something, you know what's going to happen. As much as we all want this, some shitty little shenanigan finish will happen and everyone think Liv will get another shot and then it will just phase out. But I said this, I think, last week on the show. I think, or at least I said it at some point, Liv Morgan should win the Rumble in 2022. Like, That should be the person you should be building.
Maybe she gets the taste now in this match, and she gets close to winning. And like, if the crowd's really behind it, like, oh shit, we want. Then you can build that story to her.
It's the next star.
And you can build that to that moment. And if she wins at Mania, that is your next. That's how you build stars. That's how they always did it. Yeah. Austin won the Rumble. Triple H won the Rumble. That's how you build stars, and they just don't. They did it with Drew. Obviously, the crowd went away.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. Like, that's how you build people. For male for me, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is my breakout guy.
Braun Ridge Holland.
Okay. What do you think about the thing with him and Sheamus? He's like saying that Sheamus is a hero of his. Like, Sheamus is obviously going to be an asshole and turn on him, right? Yeah. And like, that'll be
Ridge Holland. He's a big boy. They love big boys. You know what I mean? Like, he's I'll say Ridge.
Dark horse for me, Carmelo Hayes.
Mello don't miss.
All right. What is the best looking? This is from the franchise, Matt, fellow Aussie. What is the best looking pro wrestling title belt of all time? My answer immediate. I automatically know.
Go.
The white Intercontinental Championship belt. The original one, the Shawn Michaels one. They obviously brought it back with Cody, but that belt is pretty.
The oval Intercontinental Championship for me.
Okay.
Love that.
That's a good one. I also like the Winged Eagle.
Attitude Era WWF title is also good. Yeah. Oh, the Undisputed title. The very first one. Like the one where it was like
when they made it one belt?
Yeah.
Like the first time they made it one
belt? Love that belt.
I also think for current belts, the United Kingdom Championship
is
very
nice
looking.
That
is
nice.
A very nice looking belt.
Yeah, that is nice.
As is the AEW Heavyweight Championship. It's just really big, the AEW Championship. All right. And then we have on Twitter, they are royally rumbled. This might be, we got a couple minutes left, so this might be a longer one. But they said you can only choose one dream match to happen, featuring each wrestler in their prime facing off. And the two matches that you have to choose from are Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle, or Shawn Michaels versus Bryan Danielson. Who do you choose and why? I feel like this is really the only long form kind of answered one, so I figured we'd end it on this one. Thank you, everyone, for the questions.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like I know how you're going to answer, and I feel like you know how I'm going to answer.
I think maybe. We'll see. I know how you're going to answer. But
you answer first. You answer first.
I'm going Shawn Michaels and Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, me too.
Now.
Spencer's going to be on me about this. So is Zach.
I am a Bret. No, I am openly I am a Bret over Shawn guy. I like them both. Like I don't dislike the one or the other, but Bret was one of my first favorites when I was a kid. So like he has a special place for me more than Shawn Michaels. They're two of the all-timers, but I'm a Bret guy over Shawn.
And I'm openly the other way.
Yes. With that being said, I think Bryan Danielson for me, I prefer Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever, to Kurt Angle. And I think the story of Danielson being trained by Shawn Michaels, like if you're building to that match, the story of the match is far more appealing in Shawn Michaels and Danielson because there's an actual history to Shawn Michaels and Danielson.
100%, I agree. Oh, okay.
And that's why I chose.
Let's all just, so I can appease everybody here and just make everyone happy. How about we just have them wrestle in a fatal 4-way?
Yeah, I would be perfectly okay with that.
But I mean, I would choose Bryan and Shawn just because the story and like their styles would be so good. I'm not saying that Kurt and Bret wouldn't be, because it would be awesome.
My God, that would be a clinic.
But like also like imagine Angle and Danielson, and imagine.
I mean, we've obviously seen Shawn and Bret a ton,
and we've seen
Bret Hart and Dan.
Yeah,
we've seen Shawn and Kurt a bunch.
Oh, and that was so good. Oh my God.
Exactly. So imagine Kurt
any of them, but like those four, like just any combination of them.
Yes.
Just like Like a 90,
Really, is
like a
Daniel-
95, 96 Brett versus a 20, or even a now Bryan Danielson. Like,
Danielson and Shawn Michaels have had to fight numerous. They fought on WWE television, right? No.
What? Who?
How long? Shawn Michaels retired when? WrestleMania 26.
So 2010, and Bryan started in WWE later in 2010.
All right, so they were the same. Oh yeah,
they never crossed paths.
So Danielson obviously never fought any of these people. No. Or did he have a run in with Kurt Angle? Maybe in Kurt Angle's lap.
No.
6-man tag with nothing.
No, because no, they didn't, and I don't know if they ever. I don't think they've ever touched. Obviously, Bryan's never. Well, he's obviously worked with Shawn in some capacity in his, the training and stuff like that. But yeah, they've never. None of these people have. Well, you know what I mean. Bryan's never worked with any of these people. Shawn's worked with obviously Brett. We're recording this on the anniversary of the Montreal Screwjob.
The Montreal Screwjob, 24 years ago.
I mean. I feel like one day
fitting. I didn't even very fitting.
One day I feel like
Bret Hart question.
I feel like one day we're gonna have to we'll put this out in the open, so then when they hear this, they'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have a 4-way Zoom. It'll be yourself, me, Zach, and Spencer. And let's talk about the Montreal Screwjob. I know it's been we're not gonna give any new information, obviously, but like just to have an open discussion about it, because I feel like we would all have varying opinions of what we witnessed, how we took away from that.
That would be fun.
2 Canadians in there too. Oh man, I know how Canadians feel about Bret Hart, and I understand it. Yeah. I am the same with Australia. So, I get it, but I will always be a Shawn Michaels guy, and I'm not going to change that. And I love, Bret Hart's great. I'm not saying Bret Hart isn't great. I've never said that Bret Hart is trash, because he is not trash. He's very good at what he does. But I've always been a Shawn guy. But yeah, Bryan and Shawn. That's a good question to end on. We're going to wrap things up anyway, because NXT is literally starting now as we're ending recording this, and I love NXT. So I'm going to watch NXT. JPJ likes NXT, so we'll be watching some NXT. But next week we'll have some kind of episode. Something will be,
of course,
and then the week after that we're doing a birthday bash, guys. 2 weeks.
Oh, that's
from
right.
Today.
It's going to air on not only your birthday but also American Thanksgiving.
So we're going to have like a birthday bash. We'll be celebrating me.
I'm going to cook a turkey. That's what I'm going to do.
So that's what we're doing in 2 weeks' time. So next week we'll probably not talk about wrestling. We'll do something else, and then the week after that it'll be a birthday celebration. We'll have party hats, and it'll be fun. So we'll do that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. You know where to find us. Our stuff is on the bottom of the screen, in the description, all that kind of good stuff. Catch us every Thursday at 9 p.m. Australian Central Daylight Saving Time. That's about it, really.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Great. Perfect.
I think I'm good. Another fun episode. Talked about a little bit of
everything,
all sorts of wrestling, and all sorts of everything. So yeah, no, I'm good.
Cool bananas. We'll see you next Thursday, guys. Thanks for listening. Peace out, everyone.